Hello, hello, hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, hello. Hey, Iman. Hey, Tangela. Shadow Book, what's up? Greetings. Hello, hello. That's that Erica Badu. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. 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 Hello to all of y'all. Hello, hello. I don't know why that's in my head, but hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Listen, let me tell y'all why we're here. I'm in the spirit right now. Y'all know what that's like. You know what it's like when you're just in the spirit. Hello to my family on Instagram, John B. Pam Love. Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. Hey. I want us to do a live Q&A. I'm in the spirit right now. And y'all know, light of my Palo Santo, y'all know what it's like when you get in the spirit and you don't know what to do with yourself. I'm in the spirit right now. And what that means for anybody who is questioning, what does that mean to be in the spirit? To be in the spirit means you're in the flow. You're in flow state, which is where I am right now. I just finished recording some important content for some stuff I got coming up soon. And the level of vulnerability that I had to get into in order to create that content immediately shifted me into spirit. So really outside of my mind and really into my heart, flow state. And so with that being said, spirit led me to hop on live and let's do some question and answer. Let's just do that, right? And I say that because when I go live and I post videos, even just this last, what day was that? Whatever day that was, I went live. Maybe it was Tuesday. Went live on Tuesday. We had a conversation and I couldn't get to everybody's questions. But today is the day where I spend time getting to questions on healing. So again, hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. 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 Hello to all of you on Instagram and here right now on YouTube. Hello to all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want everybody to, at this moment, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Don't make me do it by myself. It's spiritual. Take that breath. Let me do that breath again, honey, because it's spiritual. It's some work going on here right now. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who took that breath with me. It's funny. Right as I said, let's take that breath. How many of y'all have the app CoStar? There's an app called CoStar, and on CoStar, daily it sends you a notification on what's happening astrologically. How many of you have the app called CoStar? Put a hand in the air like that if you have the app called CoStar. If you do not have the app called CoStar, I want to challenge you to get that app. I want to challenge you to download that app, put your birthday information in there, put your birth time in there, put all of that good stuff in there. CoStar. Shout out to everybody who has the app CoStar. But right as I started to take the deep breaths, my CoStar popped up, the notification for today, and it said, Solve problems with friends. It says solve problems with friends. And what am I here doing with y'all right now? I'm saying let's go live. Let's have a conversation. Let's do a Q&A. So if there has been something on your mind, and I know it is, because Spirit wouldn't tell me to do something like this if it were not happening over there with one of y'all. If something has been on your mind over the last couple of days, I want you to do me a favor and drop that question into the chat. I want you to drop that question into the chat, whether you are on Instagram or on YouTube. I want you to drop that question into the chat. At this moment, right now, I want to do my part to support you in your healing, in your transformation, in your shadow work, in your spiritual work. I mean, you could be asking a question about anything, and I'm going to tune into my internal guidance system, tune into, that flow state that I'm already in. And I want to give you some guidance on whatever it is that may be going on, whatever it is that may be coming up in your head, and in your heart right now. So as y'all are doing that, as you are tuning in with yourself, again, take a breath. What I want to say as y'all start bringing in some questions, as y'all start liking the video, let's do that. Like the video, share the video, because there's somebody who has a spiritual question right now that I have the answer to. Or, not that I necessarily have the answer to, but I have the skill and the resources to pull the answer down from Spirit. And so there's somebody who needs some answers right now, and I am so grateful to be able to bring those answers. So like and share the video, whether you are on Instagram or on YouTube. Like and share the video, because there's somebody who is needing answers. There's somebody who has a question right now. There's something going on, and I want to be of support. I need to be of support. It's a part of my purpose. It's a part of my life right now as well. Thank you, Bree. Love you, sis. Right? So let's talk about real quick, as y'all are pulling in those questions, as y'all are liking and sharing the video. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. I want to talk to y'all about this concept of healing, right? When I think about healing and the work that I do, I want you to know that healing is a continuous journey. It's a non-stop journey, because once you reach a certain level of consciousness, once you reach a certain level of emotional sovereignty, once you reach a certain level of understanding with yourself, there's always more layers. Do we understand? You, the spirit, you, the soul, there's so many layers to you that go back lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. So you may heal something, right? You may transform the way you think and the way you feel about something that happened in this current lifetime. And you may think, I'm good. I'm feeling great. Whatever's going on, I'm good. You may think that, but maybe a month or two, a year or two, some time goes by, and then something else happens that makes you be like, I thought I healed that. I thought I got over that. I thought I was done with that. So I want y'all to understand you are such an ancient being. How many of you know that you are so ancient? You are so wise beyond your years. How many of you know that you've seen many moons? Not just this moon here on planet Earth. You've seen so many moons. You've had so many experiences. You are so wise. And because you've had so many experiences, there's so many layers of thought. There's so many layers of emotion, right? The universe is infinite, and therefore you are infinite. Because the universe is infinite, you are infinite, because everything that exists in the universe also exists within you. And because everything that exists within the universe exists within you, you are never done exploring yourself. You are never done exploring you. And there are things that you will discover about yourself that you may not like. There are things about yourself that you may not like. There are things about yourself that you may not understand, that you may not get. You may be like, where the hell does this come from? So it is your job to do the work to get to the understanding, the understanding, and to do the mental emotional work to take whatever it is that you discover about yourself and make it to be something that is of the utmost value to you and the people around you. Okay? All right? So when we're talking about healing, yes, you may overcome some trauma, right? This trauma that you once had, it no longer has a hold on you. That's the goal. But you'll keep going and you'll realize something else like, this manifestation that is taking place in my life, it's no longer in alignment with what I want. So let me heal the thought, let me heal the emotion, let me heal the experience, the belief that is creating this manifestation in my present life. If you understand what I'm saying, let me get an Ashe in the chat on Instagram and on YouTube. Let me get an Ashe in the chat. Ashe simply means power for people who are unaware. Ashe simply means power. It's an affirmation. It's like amen. What's your opinion on Texas passing no abortion laws, and how will that affect women's emotional psyche? Wow. You know what? That is a very, very sensitive topic. Thank you for everybody that put Ashe. So we got a question over here on YouTube that says, how do I feel about the no abortion laws, and how will that affect the women's emotional psyche? Well, here's the thing. Women's bodies have been, for as long as we can go back in time, right? Women's bodies have been stripped of, women have not had sovereignty over their body for a very long time. Women have not had sovereignty over their bodies for a very long time. I mean, look at all the stuff that women do to their bodies, like BBLs, breast implants, lipo, all of that stuff that women do to their bodies to look a certain way that is quote unquote aesthetically pleasing. So the emotional psyche of women today has been skewed when it comes down to their own bodies. Okay? So really this abortion law, yes, it's and here's the thing. Women are not going to stop getting abortions just because there's a law. That's like, weed hasn't been made legal here in Texas, but that don't mean people ain't smoking it, right? So people are always going to find a way to do what it is that they need to do, whether it is legal or not. More importantly than the understanding of these rights and these laws regarding your body, more important, I think, is women finding time to connect with their bodies, to love their bodies, to honor their bodies, and to understand that their body is a representation of their spirits. The aesthetic of your body, the way your body looks, the way your body is shaped, is a representation of what is happening within you spiritually. Your body represents unprocessed trauma that you have going on. Or your body can represent deep healing. Okay? So more importantly than just focusing on abortion laws and anything that the government puts in place, I think the most important thing is connecting to self, connecting to your own emotions, connecting to your own mind. And here's the thing. Bobby Hemmett already gave us a lot of science on women's cycles. Like if women learn to if you connect to your body, not a single law, not nothing that this government puts in play can affect you. Not a vaccine. Not I don't even know. Because I never talk about these things that happen in law and government and stuff like that. It's weird because I'm like, okay, am I supposed to be saying all of this? I never talk about it anyways. So when it comes to all of this man-made stuff, your connection to your body surpasses all of it. It doesn't matter. Does that make sense? So for me, I don't really buy into all of the law talk, even when it comes to something as extreme and as sensitive as abortion. I think women have to take control over their own bodies. The way you take control over your body is by having control over your mind and having control over your emotions. Dream and I made it 3 years without getting pregnant. We made it 3 years. Y'all see us now. Oh God, look at that. Wow. We made it 3 years without getting pregnant. Honey, and we are grown folks. We're grown folks. We enjoy each other's bodies, but we made it 3 years without getting pregnant. How? Because me as a woman, and Dream has this connection to his body, but me as a woman, I'm connected to my body. So I know what, when, and why. Do you understand? So if we can teach women to connect with themselves on such a deep, intuitive, spiritual level, if we can teach women to and we wasn't out on no birth control, none of that stuff, none of this traditional stuff. Dream and I were old school. And I ain't have no calendar that said we can do it now, we cannot do it now, because it wasn't no stuff like that. It was me being in tune with my body and be like, babe, if we're gonna do this, we better be careful, right? Or babe, if we do this, we better it's possible. So what you want to do? That boils down to being in tune and connected with my body. So I think we got to shift the focus off of government, off of law, off of all of that stuff, even though I know it does has an impact, but the impact that these laws have on you is as intense or as extreme as you allow it to be based off of your mentality and based off of your emotions. Okay? Based off of your mentality and your emotions. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it with? Okay? If women can get very clear on who they are, if women can get very clear on their sacredness, their divinity, they, honey, y'all got me going into all types of stuff. Let me tell y'all ladies something. Before we got pregnant with Kara, we had a pregnancy scare. I went into a dark room. It was our meditation room at night. I turned off every light in that room. I sat down and I started to meditate. And as I meditated, mind you, my cycle was late and I was feeling okay. A soul has decided it wants to come through Dream and I went in our room, in our meditation room, turned off all the lights, and I literally talked to that energy. And I said, you know what, right now is not the time. And I did that from a very open, very intuitive, spiritual place. This is the amount of power that women have over their bodies, right? In connection with their bodies. So I told that spirit, I told that soul, I'm like, listen, now's not the time. I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you for choosing us. But right now is not the time. And I said more. I just spoke my heart. I think I even cried when I did that because I was in a dark room and I basically went into my own subconscious, went into my own spirit. And maybe a day or two later, that cycle came. So we have to teach women and men how to connect with their bodies and how to communicate with their bodies and how to heal their bodies on their own and how to trigger certain things within their bodies themselves, how to have control over your body. Okay? And the way that you get to have control over your body as women and as men is through having a healthy emotional and mental state of being. It's through connecting to your body on such a deep level. I'll give you another example of this. I was doing womb healing work, right? And I had to go through the womb healing work because I had to create womb alchemy. And I remember talking to my cells. I remember talking to the cells in my body, right? I remember literally focusing in on my womb and every little tiny cell that was in my womb. And I would tell that cell, You are functioning at the highest vibration. You are in alignment with the energy of God, the divine. There's no trauma, there's no heartache, there's no disappointment, guilt, or shame residing in the womb, in the cells of my womb. I release all shame, disappointment right now. I'm talking to the cells. Jay-Z says it. Jay-Z says it in that new Kanye song, Guess Who's Going to Jail Tonight? He says, God in my cells. That's a selfie. God in my cells. That's a selfie. Meaning, at the very smallest particle of you, a cell, is your divinity. And if you can learn to connect to your divinity, to your power, through your thought, through your emotion, you can transform anything. I don't care what so-and-so said. I don't care what Fauci said. I don't care about what any of these people said. You can transform your body. Why is natural birth so taboo when it's their birthright to experience the chaos baby coming through? Listen, we have been so, they call it like white coat syndrome, right? A person puts on that white coat. A person puts on that white coat, a person puts on a suit, a person does all of these things, they got all of these accolades, and you automatically believe what it is that they say. It's a trick, it's a game. And in natural birth, delivering a child naturally is, and I don't even want to say naturally because that can kind of be offensive to some. But vaginally delivering a child without doctor or medicine or medication intervention is one of the most powerful things that a woman will ever do. It is one of the most powerful things that a woman will ever do. Okay? And it's taboo again because the powers that be don't want you to know the level of control, power, purpose, intention. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know that you're a goddess, sis. Every time I've given birth, oh my God, I felt power and strength like I've never known it before. I was like, I mean, my first time giving birth, natural, vaginally unmedicated, in 2016. My first time doing that was the first time I realized that I was a real goddess. It was my aha moment that I'm really a divine being. Now, I still had to do the work to get to that emotional, mental state of being. I still had to do the work to get to that point. But delivering that boy, oh my God, 12 hours. It was 12 hours of labor. I'm so fortunate to have had quick labors and deliveries, right? But that experience, feeling all of it, feeling my womb open up, feeling my portal. When we're talking about delivering a child, bringing a child into this world, which is why it's so magical. When we're talking about bringing a child into this world, we're talking about bringing something from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. See, this baby in my womb, Kim, our daughter, she's still in spirit right now. She's still in spirit because she hasn't come through the womb yet. So yes, there's a physical baby in my womb, but herself, she's still in spirit. She's still in infinite darkness. Does that make sense? She's still in infinite darkness. She's still out in the cosmos. If you look at how the Big Bang Theory, right? Look at the universe. Go and look at pictures of the universe and all of that stuff like that. That infinite darkness, that's the womb. She's still in that space right now. And when she is born, when she comes through, she is going to enter into the physical realm. And so to be able to feel that, to be able to be fully consciously aware of that, to be able to do it where the baby was made, right? Like Kim was made here in this house and she's going to be born here in this house. That's power. She was made here. She gonna be born here. It's power. Okay? So there's a taboo surrounding that because when you have that experience, you realize that you a bad mama jamma. You realize that if you can, they say delivering a baby unmedicated, meaning without an epidural, they say delivering a baby is equivalent to breaking hundreds of bones in your body all at the same time. That's the level of pain. Ah. And see, and some people say I'm a whole nother type of woman to be able to do it. I'm telling you, I've literally had women say to me, "Oh, you a different kind of woman," and I'm looking at them like, "No, we the same type of woman. You just haven't realized your God power yet." Okay, all right. I breathe it through. I move those hips. I ride the wave. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But at the end of the day, it boils down to power. It boils down to control. It boils down to women not being in tune with their bodies. And let me also say this. Your child needs to be the one that chooses their birth date. That you don't have the right to choose your baby's birth date, your baby's birth date, and your baby's birthday, meaning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't have the right to make that to make that choice for this divine, sacred, sovereign being. Your baby is a sacred, sovereign being, and they're supposed to choose when they come. And they choose when they come because when they come, there's certain alignments in the astral, in the astral. There's certain alignments in the cosmos. There's certain alignments between the planets that would create a certain experience for that child. I came into this realm on October 7th at 2:45 in Houston, Texas. That made me to be a Libra sun, a Pisces moon, a Capricorn rising. But when you decide you're going to go to the hospital and you're going to go get Pitocin, when you decide you're going to let them scare you into not trusting yourself, now your baby coming out on the day that they didn't naturally intend to come out, and now they're stars. Now the lessons that they have to learn in this realm are different from what they probably intended. Now, will they be all right? They're going to be just fine. Them babies going to be just fine. Trust me. Okay? But as parents, you need to allow the space for your children to choose their own planetary alignments. Because based off of those alignments, based off of those natal charts, that is what's going to determine their strengths, their weaknesses, their shortcomings, their power, right? Their magic. Let them choose that. All right. I got a question over here on Instagram. Thank you, love. Greetings. Could you give an example from your own experience of how you healed your heart via meditation? Like, what did you focus on? Ooh, I love that question. Add a little sugar. Add a little sugar. I wish you could send me some treats or something like that. You definitely should, okay? Because you're a part of the family. So send me some treats. Heart meditation. So there's many things that I've done to really heal my heart, right? I'll give you two different examples. One example that I've done to heal my heart through meditation is I like to call this cord connecting, right? So I would connect the cord to the base of my spine. I would connect the cord to the base of my spine, and I would visualize that cord going down into the earth, the depths of the earth, getting so deep into the earth that you get to the part of the earth that is fire. How many of y'all know that in the center of the earth it is fire? How many of you know that earth energy is transformational energy? How many of you know that fire is transformational energy? And so what I would do, I would connect that cord to the base of my spine. I would visualize it going deep down into the earth, through the ground, through the rocks, through the dirt, until it gets to the center of the earth, that hot part of the earth. And I would get so invested in this visualization, I could feel heat on my butt, literally. And then what I would do next is I would connect a cord, an energetic cord, a visualized cord from my heart chakra to the cord that is connected to the earth. And what I would do, I would visualize any of the disappointment, the shame, the sadness, the guilt, anything that I was holding onto my heart. I would visualize it. Here's the catch. You don't have to see real images. You just have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. So if I was yes, you can ask a question, Gregory. Everybody put your questions in the chat. So if I was releasing shame or guilt, I would generate those emotions, and I would intentionally, with my visualization, using my mind's eye, I would see those emotions, or I would see those experiences leaving my heart chakra, connecting to the core that is at the base of my spine, and now going deep down into the earth. Okay? That's one meditation that I would do. All right? Another meditation that I would do when it comes down to my heart chakra. First of all, I do many types of meditation. I do coloring meditation. Some of y'all think that y'all too grown to get out a coloring book. First of all, they have adult coloring books. I would get out an adult coloring book. I would get all the different variations of green that I could find, right? If I needed to add more love into my heart, I would get all the different variations of green, and I would color a mandala, and I would have the intention that I'm coloring this mandala, all of these different colors of green, and I am releasing anything that is in my heart that doesn't need to be there, and I'm powering my heart up with unconditional love. Okay? These are things that I would do. All right? Something else that you can do is you can visualize yourself bringing in that unconditional love. You can visualize yourself bringing in pink light. You can visualize yourself bringing in green light. You can visualize yourself bringing in white light. You can visualize yourself bringing in gold light. Here's the thing when it comes down to anything that you do. It is all about, so first of all, what do you focus on? You focus on whatever it is that you're needing to accomplish, right? For me, when I'm doing heart chakra work, I needed to release a lot of abandonment issues. And the self-guilt, the self-pity, the shame that surrounds all of that, I would focus on feeling those things leaving my heart. And here's the catch, y'all. When you do a meditation, it doesn't just stop right there. Now you have to take that meditation and you have to tell yourself, now I'm going to be intentional in living this way. So for me, if I'm releasing guilt, shame, abandonment, and self-pity in my daily life, when I'm usually would be triggered by something, I'm intentional about saying, I don't have to feel that way. Okay? Here's another thing that y'all have to understand. Meditation is not something you just one hit and quit. It's not a one hitter quitter. And you have to layer things on top of each other. This is why it's so important to have a spiritual practice. You layer things on top of each other. So you're doing your meditation. That's the spiritual. Now, what are you doing physically? So for me, I'm physically coloring these heart chakra symbols physically. Emotionally, when I feel myself being triggered, I'm communicating with myself and I'm saying, okay, this is my abandonment wound coming up. This is my guilt wound coming up. This is my rejection wound coming up. I'm feeling it, but how am I going to choose to react? And then I ask Spirit, I say, Spirit, give me the download of how else I can perceive this situation. That's a whole nother thing. A lot of the wounds that have taken place in your heart, they stem from the childhood. And so you have to go back into those childhood experiences. You do this through your visualization. And with my coaching clients, every coaching client that I've ever had, and we've done one-on-one sessions, we always do a visualization of a childhood experience. And instead of us just reliving the experience, in the moment, in the visualization, and this is something that you can do for yourself, but you got to be disciplined. In the visualization, I ask my client, so you took this direction. You went this way with it, you know? You went this way with it and you created this belief that I am unworthy of love, that I'm always abandoned, that I don't have value, right? You had this experience and this is the direction that you went with it. When we go back to that experience in our meditation and in our visualization, I ask my client, what's in the opposite direction? What is the perception in the opposite direction? What is the belief in the opposite direction? What is the emotion in the opposite direction? And when we have that clarity, now in that moment, my clients, they make the decision to go into the opposite direction, to see the situation from an opposite direction, from a different perspective. That's the way you go. And now that same wisdom that you've just instilled into your younger self is what you apply in your waking life when you're not meditating. Okay? Do we got that? Do we got that? And yeah, I do believe I have a heart chakra meditation on my YouTube. And we're gonna be doing so many more meditations, y'all. Especially if you join the Sacred Sister Circle. The Sacred Sister Circle is going down January 2022. Meditate. It's all about spiritual practice. It's all about spiritual practice. So add a little sugar. Okay, you got that. Add a little sugar. If you have any extra, if you have another question surrounding that, please feel free to ask. All right. Please feel free to ask. All right. I want to make sure I give you stuff that you could use in this moment. All right. Let's backtrack. Let's go over here. I'm going to go to YouTube and then I'm going to come back to Instagram. So that was just off of Instagram. Now I'm going to go to YouTube and then we'll come back to Instagram for a question. Okay. Healed but still can't. Being isolated and broke is kind of triggering. Feel I might need to remember my experiences to share them in some way to move past them. Mike Long D. First of all, I want you to understand that it's a process. I want all of y'all to understand that healing and transformation is a process. And for you to say you are healed, what that means is that when these certain things happen in your reality that used to trigger you, that used to make you feel emotional, they no longer do that to you. Right? For example, I had abandonment issues. I used to get upset when Dream had to go deliver packages. I used to get upset when Dream had to be on the computer or on the phone all the time handling business. That was my abandonment wound, right? Now, he can go deliver packages, be on the phone, be on the computer, and be doing all of that stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, be great. I'm good. Okay? So you'll know when you've healed something when the same thing that used to trigger you no longer triggers you. Or when you can recognize, okay, I see that and I used to feel some type of way about this and this is how I used to react, but now I'm being conscious and I'm choosing to react like this instead. Okay? So if you're still feeling abandoned, there's still another layer of work that needs to be done. All right? Abandonment wound, y'all, when you have an abandonment wound, you have to literally smile when you are alone. Mike Long D, I literally need you to smile when you're alone. I literally need you to find yourself alone. I don't care where you are. You can be at home, at a job, in the car. You need to intentionally trigger a smile. What this says to the subconscious mind is that you enjoy being alone and that you're not abandoned and that you found a holiness, a sacredness within yourself. Healing the abandonment wound means you come to learn, you come to know that within yourself you are holy, you are sacred, you are divine. So when you find yourself alone, in those moments you trigger a smile. And this lets the subconscious mind know, I enjoy being alone. This is good for me. This is healing for my soul. And you keep on doing that. You keep on doing that. And then before you know it, the feeling of abandonment is going to subside because you understand that you are holy by yourself. And you understand that when you experienced abandonment as a child, or maybe even in a past life, when you experienced that abandonment, it was not your fault. See, for a lot of us, we're still taking it personally. Stop taking the mistakes of your parents personally. They didn't do it to you on purpose because they didn't like you. Even they may have said, I don't like you. They may have even said those words. But I need you to understand on a very deep spiritual level that the things that they did or did not do is a reflection of them and not of you. So the sooner you can release the attachment to their actions, the sooner you can release the beliefs that you've created based off of what your parents did or did not do. Can I get an ashe in the chat? Can I get an ashe in the chat? Yes, and thank you, I am Malachi, for the donation. I appreciate it. All right, so Mike Long D, let me know, Mike Long D, if that hits for you. All right, let's go over here to Instagram. Let's go over here to Instagram and see what we got. Motherfucker Cole. He says, I'm not sure how to formulate this, but marriage has been coming to mind lately. Embarking on the path when you find yourself whole to share the experience with another. Hope that makes sense. No, Mike. No, motherfucker Cole. That don't really make sense. I'm kidding. Here's the thing when it comes to creating relationships. Okay. Here's the thing when it comes to manifesting relationships. There is no such thing as being all the way whole and all the way put together, and then that's when you get in a relationship. It's a lie. They lied. Whoever told you, oh, you need to make sure you do all your healing work before you get into a relationship, because if not, they lied. I'm sorry, Angel the Key Ford. My bad, sis. I'm gonna go back up there to you. No worries, no worries. I'm gonna go back up there. Thank you for posting that in the chat for me. They lied. There is no such thing as being all the way put together before manifesting a relationship. You can initiate your healing work. You definitely need to be doing that. Dream and I tell the story all the time. When Dream and I first got together, started dating, I was on a meditation rampage. I have been meditating every day for like 90 days. Dream, on the other hand, was doing a TV fast. He had stopped watching TV for a year. And then when we got together, he stopped drinking alcohol for a year. Like, we were in the trenches, okay? Before we came into our relationship, we were already doing our self-work. But honey, best believe when we got in the relationship, the self-work got amplified even more. I'm like, damn, you is really triggering me. And still triggers me to this day. And still triggers me to this day. So don't go into don't feel like you cannot have a relationship because you got to be all healthy and whole and all of that. Yes, that is the goal. You need to do that work for yourself. You do that work for yourself, not even for a relationship. When Dream and I got together, we weren't thinking about being together. It wasn't even on our minds. I remember Dream hit me up. He said, I want to take you out to eat. It was Christmas Eve. I was like, you want to take me out on Christmas Eve? I'm thinking in my mind, you must really like me because why are you taking me out on Christmas Eve? We just friends. We go out to eat, we eat, and out of nowhere he says, yeah, I couldn't even be with you right now. You know, I'm still doing a lot of work. And I'm like, first of all, I wasn't even checking for you like that. Like, we really just friends. I wasn't even thinking about us being together. But obviously, we're together, so something spiritual was in the play that we both didn't realize at the time. Okay? So, I say all of that to say, do your work. Whenever you're triggered, whenever you're emotional, whenever things are coming up for you, that's a sign that you need to do your internal work. But don't close yourself off to manifesting certain relationships because you feel like you're not all the way healthy, you're not all the way whole. Because whether you want to believe it or not, when you get in a relationship, that person who you're in a relationship with, here's the crazy part about relationships. I love it. No matter what relationship you are in, there's always going to be opposites and equals. Dream and I are very opposite in a lot of ways, but though in those ways that we're opposite, we're equal. Okay? Dream is very straightforward. I can be very passive aggressive. I can just be like, okay, yeah, all right, whatever. He'll be like, I feel this type of way, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. You know? All right, it's cool. You good. It's fine. We're very opposite and equal. And the reason why that is because there's something within him that I have to learn, like being a straight shooter. But there's also something within him that he needs to learn from me. Like, sometimes you can take the back seat. You can relax. Sometimes everything doesn't have to be said. Do we understand? So with that natural dynamic of relationships, your partner is always going to be, they're always going to poke something on you. No matter how healed, healthy, and whole you become, they're always going to poke something on you. They're always going to make you feel some type of way, like, damn, like you really triggering me. But that's on purpose. That's what relationships are supposed to do. I hope that gives you some sort of guidance, motherfucker Cole. I hope that gives you some type of guidance. Let me know in the chat if it does. Let's go back over here to YouTube. Angel the Key Ford. After you have healed your heart and you're now up, how do you find your notch again? I need more clarity on that question. After you have healed your heart and you are now up, okay? And you're now up. How do you find your notch again? Angel, I need more clarity on that. I don't know if I'm not. After you've healed your heart and you're now up. So when you're saying you're now up, you're feeling more in high vibrations? Is that what we're asking, Angel? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, Angel. Let me know. Definitely want to answer that question, but I need the clarity on that so I can make sure I answer what you are needing specifically. All right. Awesome. I'm glad that was well received. Motherfucker Cole. Thank you. Angel, get that thinking clearly is what I meant. Okay. So now that you've healed your heart and you're thinking clearly, how do you find your notch again? I'm not understanding that last part. How do I get over this breakup? 10 years with a kid together and she moved to a new guy within weeks. John. Yeah, that's here's the thing, John. Never try, y'all, this goes for everybody. Never try to rush to get over something. You don't have to. That's another lie. That's another lie that we've been told, that we have to hurry up and get over our grieving. When you are in a relationship for so long and that relationship's in, you grieve as if somebody that you love has died. And you do that because there's a certain part of you that is dead, right? That part of you that was in that relationship has just now died, and now you are in mourning. You are in grieving. So there's nothing to rush, okay? You don't have to rush a breakup, an emotional break. When you've been with 10 years, that's a long time. That's a long time, John. So you do not have to rush that. Don't feel like I gotta get over that. You need to give yourself the time to purge, to purify, to heal. You need to ask yourself, right? When it comes down to any relationship, you need to ask yourself, what in me attracted this person to me? And then once you have that answer, you ask yourself, what in me kept us in this relationship for the amount of time that we've been in it? How is this breakup now serving me? Why was this breakup necessary for my spiritual growth, for my spiritual healing, for my spiritual transformation? I challenge you, John, to ask yourself those questions first. And then after you ask yourself those questions, you meditate on those answers. You meditate on those answers, because what you will discover, and again, I don't want you to rush through grieving, but what you will discover is that this was something that was absolutely necessary for your spiritual growth and spiritual expansion. And a lot of times, breakups in relationships happen because one person is no longer growing spiritually. And now your spirit is like, okay, you're missing the signs, you're missing the symbols. I'm giving you signs and symbols that maybe in this relationship you need to take some time apart, and you're missing it. And so now spirit has to make it be a very traumatic experience, one that you cannot deny, that you need to let go, release, and move on from. Okay? So it's all about, are you doing the work? Are you doing the internal work? Are you tuning into spirit? Are you listening to that internal guidance system? Okay? Let's go back over here to Angel. How do you find yourself or your path? My slumber made me miss opportunities. How do I know where I go? Okay, that's good, Angel. Now I got that. Here's the thing. You don't have to find your path. You're already on the path. You don't, y'all, we got to get this understanding in our minds. We got to really get this understanding in our minds that spirituality is not something that you do, it is something that you are. It's something that you are, Angel. You're already it. You're already in the process. And before you even incarnated into this realm, you said, I'm going to have these experiences. I'm going to have these experiences. So I don't you have not missed anything, sis. If you missed something, it wasn't for you. That goes for anybody. If you miss something, if you miss a job, if you miss, I don't even want to use the word miss. If you are not in that relationship, if you don't get that job, if you don't get that car, if you don't lose the 20 pounds, whatever it is, if you don't have it, if it didn't manifest, it wasn't for you to manifest. It wasn't for you to manifest. It wasn't for you in that space and time. And so you have to accept and embrace what is happening right now. Because right now is your divine time. How many of y'all understand that divine timing is a real thing? Divine timing is a real thing. You have not missed anything. You don't have to find anything. Everything that you need is going to flow from you when it is time to. Like, I just knew, okay, it's time for me to start the Sacred Sister Circle. It's happening in January 2022. I just knew, okay, it's time for me to start putting out these coaching. It's time for me to start talking to people. It's time for me to put myself out there. You're going to know. You're going to know. Now, here's the tricky part about it, though, Angel. You will get the download. You will get the information, but do you trust it? Or do you still second guess yourself like, oh, well, I've only been doing this whole spiritual thing for a year, so I can't be, I can't really know what I'm doing. It's a lie. It's a lie, sis. You have not been, this is not your first rodeo. You've been there, you've done that, you simply forgot. Okay? So how do you know where to go? You know where to go when something resonates with you, when something calls to you, when something keeps repeating in your mind and spirit keeps on telling you, call that person. Call that person. Call that person. Spirit keeps on saying, meditate on this. Pick up that book. See, you already have the answers. Y'all be having the answers. You just don't trust. You have not learned to decipher ego and spirit well enough. And you have not learned to trust the one that is more connected to your sacred self. Okay? You just have not learned to trust the voice that is really sacred, that is really divine, that is connected to your higher self. It's easier to listen to ego. Why? Because ego is gonna take the safe route. Ego is gonna take the easy route. Ego is gonna take the comfortable route. But your ego will have you wasting precious time. I got a post on that coming soon on Instagram. Your ego will have you wasting time. Okay? Because your ego is like, no, we fine. We fine. You know a little bit about spirituality. You don't got to do that meditation. You don't got to hire D-Ray as your coach. You're going to be all right. But you wasting time. Okay? Let me know if that answers your question, Angel. Let me know if that answers your question. Mike Long D, absolutely sharing your experiences, absolutely 100% helps you to level up. If you cannot express your trauma, if you cannot express your experiences, if you cannot verbalize it, you stay a prisoner to it. It still has control over you. You think you free, you think you healed, but you can't even tell nobody your mama left you, your daddy left you, and this made you feel unwanted and unworthy. If you cannot say that out of your mouth, you're not ready to release it. It stays stored in the body. It stays stored in the psyche. It stays stored in the emotions. So you absolutely have to become a person who can express and who can communicate their experiences effectively. Absolutely, 100%. Let's see what's going on over here on IG. What you said is confirmation. Ashe, I'm grateful for that. Let me see. How do you call back your power, regaining your voice? I feel like I lost my voice. Very hesitant to speak my truth. I love that. So recalling back your power. Here's a meditation that I do when I got to recall my power or bring back my power if I've given it all up for whatever reason. And this goes for everybody. Here's what you do. You visualize a sun in front of you. Visualize a big, bold sun. This sun that is in front of you is your sun. It's your power. It's your light. We got two things going on when we have lost our power. There's two things that are going on. One thing is we got solar plexus deficiencies, right? Our solar plexus chakra is not vibrating fast enough, right? That's one thing. Secondly, the throat chakra not vibrating fast enough. So the first thing we want to do is power up the solar plexus. The solar plexus is directly connected to your self-discipline, to your will, to your power, to your internal power. It's connected to your internal light. It's connected to your confidence. It's connected to what you will give back to the world. So what you want to do, you want to visualize a bright sun in front of you, and you want to inhale the rays of that sun. And as you bring that sun in, you have the intention of, I'm calling back all of my power, my light. How many of y'all know if we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't exist right now? If the earth did not have a sun to nourish the plants, to nourish us, to nourish nature, to nourish the animals with those sun rays, we would not exist right now. The sun is a source of power. So I want you to visualize your own sun in front of you. And I want you to inhale in through your nose. And you're going to send that light from that sun, that golden yellow light from the sun. You're going to send that light into your solar plexus, your seat of power. Okay? And as you are breathing in that sun, you're going to exhale any fear, any apprehension, any lack of self-discipline, any lack of self-will, any lack of self-esteem. You're going to exhale that energy out. So you're inhaling your power, exhaling any thoughts, any beliefs, any words from people around you who have made you second guess yourself. Okay? Simple, simple, simple meditation to do. Secondly, when it comes to actually being able to speak and really allowing your truth to be given, you need to first get clear on what is your truth. Because if it's your truth, then that means you're not afraid of the judgment of others. Okay? A lot of times, the reason why you are afraid to speak your truth, the reason why you've lost your voice, is because you fear the judgment of people and how they will receive what it is that you have to say. How are they going to receive what I have to say? Is it going to be well received? Is it going to come out clearly? Am I going to sound crazy? Does it make sense? So you're caring about how other people are going to receive your truth instead of just standing on your truth. Okay? So take a deep breath. Whenever you find yourself in a moment and your throat starts to get tight, first of all, recognize what that is. We're talking about anxiety. I'm feeling anxious that what I'm about to say is about to cause some type of effect on these people, and the effect that it has on them is going to cause some type of adverse effect on me. Okay? I want you to understand that how a person receives whatever it is that you have to say, how they receive it, it's on them. Now, let me tell you, when you're in relationships and you're both working on healing, it's important for your partners to be conscious of what they say and how they say it. If your partner knows you've been working on something, if your partner knows you've been healing something, and they are not conscious of how they deal with you, then you need to let them know that they need to be a better partner. Do you understand? Okay. Janubian, let me make sure I read it. Janubian beaded jewels. I hope that makes sense for you, sis. I need to come on your page and look at some of these beaded jewels you got. All right? Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Get that meditation in, call back your power, and then understand that your truth is your truth, and you do yourself a disservice when you don't speak your truth. Flex Washington says, how can I help a woman heal when we dealing with each other? By you being healed. Y'all, like nobody, you can support a woman in her healing. Like I just said, if your woman tells you that she struggles with abandonment issues, I'm just going to give you some of my experience, right? If your woman tells you that she's healing from abandonment, how do you help her? You help her by, if she calls you and you don't answer the phone the first time, cool. But if she calls you a second time, you need to be ready to take accountability for that and really soothe her and let her know that she's supported. Because it's simple things like that that will trigger a woman who's dealing with abandonment issues. It will. So you help her by becoming conscious of what she's working through and doing your part to not trigger whatever the emotion, whatever the thought is. And when she is triggered, you need to be understanding of that. You don't start fighting her triggers with your triggers, because that's what be happening. like something you did or something you said triggered her, and now she's responding, and now you triggered based off of her trigger, and now we shadow boxing, and our triggers are fighting each other. So how do you help a woman heal? You help a woman heal by you healing. Because when you heal, you are going to be less likely to be triggered by her as she's going through her process. All right? What are some tips to heal a broken heart from grief from loss of a mother? That's a tough one. Let me tell you the same thing that I just told somebody that was talking about a breakup, even though we know it's nowhere near the same thing, Bree. Time heals all. That's one thing. Time heals all. But here's one thing that I want you to do. I want you to start doing a meditation, Bree, an umbilical cord meditation. And Spirit literally just downloaded this into me. Bree, I want you, first of all, Bree, I want to make sure that you're still here. My day is going great. Hey, Lloyd Taylor, FX, my day is going great. Okay, Janubian Beaded Jules, I'm glad you're still here, sis. I'm glad that you were able to receive that. Please let me know if that worked, if that helps you. Okay, Bree, you're still here. So, and I want everybody to use this meditation if they struggle with connecting to their mother. One, this meditation, we all know that before we incarnated, before we were born, when we were in our mother's womb, we were connected to our mother through the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord is connected to the placenta. The placenta is connected to the mother. And so what I want you to do, Bree, I want you to visualize an umbilical cord coming from your belly, because you the baby, coming from your belly and connecting to the energy, connecting to the spirit of your mother. I want you to, and what we're doing really by going back to when you were in utero, what we're really doing is really helping you to truly heal from the experiences you've had with your mother while she was here and going back to that very pure state of being. When you were in your mother's womb, regardless of what your mother had going on, there's a certain level of purity. Even though I know you have a twin sister, so that's even more crazy, right? But I want you to visualize an umbilical cord coming from your belly and connecting to the spirit of your mother. And how do you connect to the spirit of your mother? One, I know you have pictures of your mother, so you definitely want to have those pictures. You want to light candles around. And I also want you to connect with her energy. When I say connect with her energy, I want you to think about how she feels. How does your mother feel? Is she very warm? I'm talking about energetically. Did she have a warm spirit? Was she funny? Was she like your support system? Was she the person that really had your back? Was she whatever she was to you energetically? I want you to generate those feelings. You can generate support, you can generate love, you can generate that energy because it's all energy. So I want you to connect that cord to your belly button, your umbilical. And I want you to visualize it being connected to your mother's energy. And whatever it is, all of the good feelings, all of the power, everything that she has ever given you that has made you who you are today, I want you to connect that cord to those things. And I want you to do that on a regular basis. I don't want you to be a one-hit quitter with that. Because what this is doing is reconnecting you to your mother on a very deep spiritual level. And it is reminding you that though your mother is not here in the physical, she's always with you and you will always be connected with her because you came from her. Okay? Bree, let me know in the chat if you received that. And then I want to know how that works out for you whenever you do start doing it. All right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me just take a pause and let me say hey to the new people that just came in here. Yes, what's up, Lloyd Taylor? What's up, Cartel Goods? What's up, D? What's up, my good sis, the Alchemist Sierra? What's up, Christina? What's up, sweetie, teety, weedy? What's up? Hey, let me look over here on YouTube. Let me see if there's any new names in here. What's up, Stray? What's up, Phoenix Muse? What's up, Divinity Through Love? What is up? What's up, Mia? Hello, hello. Let me give y'all the same vocals I gave everybody else. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. 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 What's up, hello, Karima? What's up? I think I said Mia, Mistaken Jim Tarot. What's up? What's up, Dominique? What is up? What is up, the Dark Goddess? What we're doing right now, y'all, we're doing live question and answer on YouTube and on Instagram surrounding healing, transformation, shadow work. We're all up in my field today. So if you have a question about healing, that's what we're doing right now. Okay? So you go ahead and put your questions in the chat. I'm going back and forth. I adore you, Sierra. We're going back and forth from Instagram to YouTube with the questions. So if you have a question, if something's been on your mind, if something's been on your heart, I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. Okay? Angel, you need to make sure that you book that session, Angel. Even if it's just a complimentary call, that's fine. We need to get that in. We need to get that in. All right. Phoenix Muse says, can you have more than one dark night of the soul moment? I feel like I'm experiencing it again. This time it feels a little different. I feel more detached from myself. Yes. So let's get into that. So one, the dark night of the soul is something that you can have multiple times. The dark night of the soul is when, for people who don't know, but it's when you have this energy that is rising up within you that is really affecting your mental, your emotional, and you really feel like the world around you is just crashing. Here's what I'm so grateful to tell you though, Phoenix Muse. And here's what I'm so grateful to tell all of y'all is that the dark night of the soul can last for a day, for 10 days, or for 100 days. It's up to you. I felt a couple of weeks ago that I was kind of in that kind of similar space where I'm like, damn, am I having like a dark night of the soul moment? And I could say that I did for like 2-3 days. So the real spiritualist does not allow themselves to stay in that dark space for long. Everybody is going to experience the dark night of the soul maybe once, maybe twice, multiple times. It just depends on your ability and your quickness to release. How good are you at releasing, at letting go, as surrendering. See, when we're having this dark night of the soul, when we're feeling depressed, we're feeling detached, we're feeling disconnected from ourselves, it's because we are holding on to something, an idea, a belief, a thought, an emotion, an action that our spirit is begging us to release so that we can move on. And when you refuse to release, when you refuse to surrender, spirit is like, oh, now I got to make it hard for you. Now I got to make it hard for you. Now I got to send in the breakup. Now I got to send in the loss of a job. Now I got to send in an illness. Now I got to send in all of this stuff for you to understand that this is a moment for you to release. See, the deeper you get into your spiritual work, the easier it is for you to truly detach. So you're feeling detached from yourself, Phoenix Muse, because you are not wanting to let go of that aspect that is no longer serving you. So now you're like, who this? Spirit is like, be okay with detaching from those aspects. You literally have to be okay with detaching from those aspects, because detaching from those aspects is what's going to bring your evolution. And the longer it takes you to detach from those thoughts, and let me tell y'all, some of y'all be going through a dark night. And I'm not saying this is your situation, Phoenix, but I'm going to tell you it was mine. I was smoking weed, and I was smoking too much weed. I was smoking too much weed. I don't even know how to roll, but I was finding myself smoking weed some way, somehow. And I was like, why am I so down? Why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? And my psyche was messed up, because what I was doing, I was using the weed to give me that high, to give me that boost, to give me that happiness, to give me that joy. That's what the weed was doing. And so I had this false sense that life was good. And then out of nowhere, the happiness, the joy that the weed was giving me, it started to torture me. It started to haunt me and taunt me, and it brought up all of these fears and all of these demons and all of this darkness. Right? And so I say that to say some of you have habits, addictions to certain things, to certain thought forms, right? You've created a thought form based off of your addictions, based off of your emotions. You've created something that is now fighting to stay with you, to stick with you, for you not to release it, for you not to let it go. So what aren't you releasing that you know damn well your spirit is saying, it's time for you to stop. It's time for you to let this thought go, let this belief go, let this emotion go. Everybody needs to get the book Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. I've been talking about this book for like the last month. When you are in a dark night of the soul, it is because your spirit is trying to purge and putrefy you. Now you need to get clear on what is needing to be purged, what is needing to be putrefied, what is needing to die, what is needing to decay. And then moment by moment in your daily life, you find opportunities to view the world differently, to feel differently, to act differently, to show up differently. And here's another thing. Y'all need to stop trying to do this by yourself. I can't keep telling y'all this. If you are not willing to invest in your mental and emotional, you are not serious about your growth. If money is more important than your mental and emotional, you are not serious about your growth. Some of y'all think that you're going to get everything that you need just off of YouTube and these free videos people be doing. And you're not. Some of y'all need one-on-one stuff. Some of y'all need one-on-one conversations. Some of y'all need somebody. If you knew what to do, you wouldn't be where you are right now. If you knew how to think, you wouldn't be thinking and feeling the way that you were right now. If you knew the actions to take, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing right now. So you need to connect with somebody who knows, or who you can feel understands what it is that you're going through. See, some of y'all think that your same family members and your same friends are going to help you to come through. It don't work like that. You've gotten to where you are with the knowledge that you have. Okay? So I've had to invest in a coach, a business coach, a spiritual coach. I work underneath a coach right now. I'm like a spiritual coaching assistant to another coach. And I do that with humility because I know I'm great too. I know I'm the bomb.com in this spiritual work and this spiritual coaching work, right? In this healing work. I know I'm great. But so to speak, I sit at her feet, so to speak, because there is something that she knows that I'm learning now and that I'm embracing now. Do you understand? And so it's an investment. It's an investment of my time. It's an investment of my energy. But I'm grateful for it because I'm learning so much. I've decided to be humble. I've decided to have some humility so that I can grow and expand. Okay? I hope that resonates for you. I hope that resonates for you. Let's go over here on IG real quick. Let me see. All right, all right, all right. Wanting to be social, connect, and teach, but establishing ironclad boundaries at the same dang time. A whole balancing act. Yeah, Kareem, it's a whole, oh girl, it's a whole balancing act. It's a whole, like, so Kareem is talking about making balance between being social, connecting, teaching, being in her purpose. Let's just say being in her purpose. And how do you create balance between that? Because when you give, it can be draining. It absolutely can be draining. So for me, there it's a balance between masculine and feminine energy, Karima. For example, right now I'm live and I'm answering questions. I haven't done something like this, I don't think ever, for a long time, right? And I was able to do it because I feel intuitively led to do it spiritually. And I know that the energy, the resource, the intuition, the guidance is beyond me, Desiree, D-Ray, the human. And so that's what's giving me the power to be able to do it. Think about Miss Blue. Miss Blue will be on in the Blue Room playing a remix. She will be doing a video for 4 hours. And I done seen Miss Blue get off of YouTube, get on Clubhouse, and be on there for another 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. And it's because she's detached the work that she's doing from her humanity. She's detached this spiritual work from her humanity. And what she does is she allows spirit, the divine, to literally just take over. But you also at the same time have to equip yourself for that. So like before I started this live, I felt myself get into the spirit. Okay. Before I started this live, I literally felt myself get deep in spirit and deep in flow with myself. I was having a very vulnerable conversation with myself, a vocal one. Like I'm literally talking to myself like I'm talking to y'all. And spirit literally said, go live, do a live question and answer. And so I just trust that. And I trust that because when I listen to that guidance, that is when I know everything else is going to work out. And I'm going to have the energy, I'm going to have the fortitude, I'm going to have the capability to get through it. Okay? So the boundary that you have to set is with yourself. How am I feeling? Is this intuitively led? Am I doing this just for business or am I doing this for spirit? Am I doing this because this is in alignment or am I doing this because this is what I think is right? That's just my perspective. All right, let's get back over here. What are my thoughts on teen pregnancy? I like that question. I don't really have. What are my thoughts on teen pregnancy? You know, I used to be a high school teacher. So I've witnessed a lot of teen pregnancy, and I'm so grateful that I've never been judgmental. I think teen pregnancy in certain places of the world is a normal thing. And here, I mean, here in America is one of those things where it's like, yeah, based off of our society. I think the most important thing about it is beyond the whole pregnancy thing. I don't even want to keep it to pregnancy. I want to take it to sexuality and sex, period. The most important thing is educating ourselves and therefore educating our children on the power of sex. What is it really? I mean, even me, for a long time, for many years, I did not know what sex really was. Dream and I got together and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Hence the 3 kids, right? So my thought is not on teen pregnancy. My thought is really on teen sexuality and teaching young people to honor themselves, to honor their bodies, and for them to understand that they are spiritual beings. And because you are a spiritual being, your body, right? This physical body is connected to a spirit, right? The spirit animates it, but it's the soul that is governing all of it. And when you connect with someone, when you join forces with someone, when you become one with someone, you are basically accepting all of them. They're good, they're bad, they're ugly. Their trauma and their shadow. Okay? I found myself yesterday. When Dream gets upset, he makes this specific face. It's like a real deep stare. And I found myself yesterday looking at the kids like that. I'm like, why am I looking at y'all like that? That's how y'all daddy be looking. But it's because Dream and I be coming together. We're one. We are one. No matter what we do, we are one. So it's really about teaching the kids, teaching teenagers that when you come together with someone, you become one. And the real question is the person you are looking at, is the person you are engaging with, are they someone you want to become one with? And if they are you willing to do that transformational, transmutational work within yourself, because you've taken on their energy, and it's not even something that, it wasn't your innate energy. It's energy that you've inherited through your sexual relations, and are you ready to transmute that? Are you ready to deal with that? You ain't never been insecure until you got with an insecure person, and now you got to heal insecurity. So more than teaching about pregnancy is teaching about the power of sexuality. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense for you. Mistaken Jim Tarot. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what Sierra over here talking about. I've been playing with the idea of alchemy versus abandonment. For example, identifying when a situation calls for you to transform it or trash it. What are your feelings on this, sis? Oh, I love it. I love it. I think it's all about what you are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally capable of doing. Um, there's some stuff on my path, on my journey, that I've literally just had to trash. Because I understood where it comes from. So, for example, I had a very traumatic experience that I didn't even realize was traumatic until after I graduated from college and after I started doing this spiritual work. And that experience was one of sexual abuse. And I decided not to really investigate that experience and really, do the alchemy on that experience. I decided to trash it. I really decided, you know what, let me just separate myself from any memories of this person. Like, let me not let me just trash the experience. Now, let me clarify. The reason why I decided to do that is because I understood why I manifested that experience. Now, when it comes to things like abuse, specifically sexual abuse, it's not a sensitive topic. I mean, it's a very sensitive topic. It's not something that is easy to discuss and talk about with yourself or with other people. But for me, instead of doing alchemy on that specific situation, it was easier for me to throw it away because I knew and understood what in me attracted that situation to me. Now it's different because some of you may have experienced sexual abuse as a child. And so when you have that experience as a child, this is something that you literally probably have to do the alchemy on, the transformation on, because at that time you can't fully fathom and understand why you manifested such a situation. Okay? But me, from my experience as a young, naive, gullible girl, I'm not even gonna say woman, college girl, I through my spiritual work now, I understood why that happened, and I understood how that will never happen to me ever again. And so instead of me saying, okay, let me transform that, let me give it new meaning, let me do alchemy on it, let me raise the vibration of it, I just threw it away. Because I already started doing the work that created that situation anyways. Okay? I had already started doing the internal work that created that situation, so I didn't have to do alchemy on it. I can just be done with it. Okay? Does that make sense, Sierra? Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, Sierra. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And I understand that. I understand that. Karima just talked about over here on Instagram how becoming a young mother is very traumatic. And I 100% can understand that and I can see that. Hell, even I had my first kid at 23 and I feel like, what the hell? Like, like you're forced to really grow up. You're forced to really grow up. So I definitely get that. I definitely get that, and I'm sending love, healing, and everything that you need your way in order for you to know that and really understand that you are divine in that situation, in that manifestation, that beautiful daughter was to serve your highest good. It's to serve your highest good. Let's go over here. Okay, let me see. Great question. Okay, Goddess, my friend did a ritual and put the picture under the candle that night. The next morning, the picture was off the altar and on the floor and up under her shoe. What's up with that? Dark Goddess, I cannot tell you what is up with that. I cannot tell you what is up with that. Like, I would need way more details, Dark Goddess, about, like, why was she doing the ritual? What was the ritual for? What was she seeking to manifest? Was the picture of her? Was the picture of somebody else? That, I mean, girl, we would have to get all the way into that, and we ain't even got time for it. Then we got Mistaken Jim Tarot says, how can I trust the calling more? If you don't trust the calling, you're risking your life. Let's just be all the way clear. If you don't trust intuition, you are risking your life. You think your ego is here to save you. You think your ego is a protector, and it is, but it's a protector on the human level. The ego is the human protector. It's the protector of the human body. The spirit, the intuition, the higher self, the calling is the protector of the spirit. And when the spirit is protected, the human is protected. Do we understand? So don't play yourself by not listening to intuition. When you don't listen to your intuition, you put yourself at risk for spiritual attack that manifests in your humanity. Okay? Not listening to calling means you are risking your life. Not listening to the inner calling means you are risking your manifestation. You're risking your growth. You're risking your transformation. Here's the beautiful thing about intuition and spirit, though, that I want everybody to know. And it's something I'm so grateful for. The powerful thing about your spirit, your higher self, your intuition, and that communication is that even if you don't listen, your higher self, your intuition is like, okay, you know what? You're still going to get to the destination, but now you got a roadblock. Now you got a speed bump. Now you got a detour, maybe even an accident. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get there. The difference is how long does it take you to get there? Are you getting there in this lifetime or are you getting there in the next lifetime? That's the real question. The real question to yourself is, do I want this healing, this transformation, this growth, this manifestation, this greatness in this lifetime, or do I want it in the next? Do I want it this month or do I want it next month? Do we understand? So your ability to trust is really boiling down to how quickly do I want to be refined into my greatest greatness? See, it's easier to listen to the ego because the ego is logic and reasoning. So that's easier. It makes sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay? Spirit will be throwing you some stuff that say 1 + 1 = 3, which is a fact, right? Spirit do some stuff like that to you, and you be like, wait, hold on, wait, should I do that? That's kind of outside of my comfort zone. But you need to ask yourself this question: how quickly do I want to get to where I need to go? Okay? But the beautiful thing about your spirit is that you're always going to get there. Your spirit is not like the ego. Your higher self, the intuition, is not like the ego. The higher self, the intuition, is not going to call you dumb, stupid, ridiculous, and all of those other negative things just to get you to do something. Your ego will be like, man, nah, that's stupid. Why are you doing that? Man, why are you going this way? That's dumb. That's ego. Okay? So pay attention to your self-talk. Pay attention to your self-talk. Let's see. Let me see if I got any questions over here on Instagram. Sometimes I feel like there is so much going on in my head. How do I compartmentalize and stay focused on what serves as opposed to what doesn't? Meditation. You have to meditate. That's how you focus. Meditation is a practice in focus. Okay? A lot of times people think meditation is about, getting rid of all the thoughts in your head. It ain't happening. You will create space between thoughts. In that space in between your thoughts, that's where spirit resides. The space in between your thoughts, right? You have a thought and then you go thoughtless and then that other thought comes up. That space is where spirit gets to channel and download things into you. Okay? So what we're talking about is you need to meditate so that you can learn how to focus. But meditation is not something that you do 1 time, 2 times, and you're looking for action, reaction. Meditation is something that you have to spend time with. It is something that you have to train your mind on. And here's the thing. When you meditate, you are the one that's actually being meditated. Okay? So it's a shift in perspective. Rather than you thinking you're doing something, shift the perspective into meditation is doing something to you, because it is. Not only that, though, when you meditate, you get to hear and understand those different voices. You need to understand what those voices are, Bree. Is this my 5-year-old self, my 6-year-old self, my insecure self, my happy self, my healthy self, my sexual self? You need to be understanding what parts of your mind, what parts of your being is communicating. And then you need to get that aspect of you on board with whatever it is that you're doing. This is when we're talking about that inner child work. You have so many different aspects of you going on in your mind. So many different aspects of you taking place in your mind. We all have it, okay? You need to understand where that belief system, where that voice, where does it stem from? Once you understand where it stems from, now you need to give that part of your mind what it needs for it to get on board with the ultimate goal of the intuition of the higher self. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me get an ashe in the chat. Let me get an ashe in the chat if that makes sense. And that goes for everybody. That goes for everybody. That goes for everybody. All right. I'm only looking for question marks. If it ain't no question mark, I don't even see it, sis. I don't even see it, bro. I don't even see it. I'm glad, Phoenix Muse, that my response to your Dark Night of the Soul question resonated. I am grateful. Ooh. And I think this is going to be my last question. I think, let me go back. Okay. If I don't see no question mark, then I don't see the question, family. So let me move on. Last question is, what are some ways to overcome a poverty mindset? I want everybody to do this with me real quick. Oh, okay. I seen that question too. Can one ever become fully healed? I don't think so. I got two questions and then I'm off of here. First question is, can one ever become fully healed? Let me deal with that question because I did see that. Wait, which one do I want to do first? Let's do the poverty mindset first. I want everybody to do this with me really quickly. I want everybody to just pause, take a moment. If you got your phone in your hand, put it down for a sec. And I want you to really quickly connect with your breath. Feel your stomach going up and down. Just feel that presence within your body. And now what I want you to do is take a deep inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's get one more. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Whenever dealing with a poverty mindset, something that you have to know is that abundance is like air. Abundance is like breath. Y'all feel that calmness? Did y'all feel that calmness that just has taken over the space? It's taken over my space. Did it take over your space? Let me know in the chat if that calmness has taken over your space. I want y'all to know that abundance is like air. You might can't see it, but it is always there. Let me say that again for y'all. Abundance is like air. You might can't see it, but it is always there. Abundance is always there. And so whenever you find yourself thinking about how you're going to pay these bills, where's the money going to come from, what's going to happen, oh my God, I never had this, I never had that, I stay stuck in this thing, I want you to breathe in abundance. I want you to take a conscious breath, and that conscious breath is going to break up the stream of negative thinking surrounding abundance. See, here's the problem. The problem is you are so damn attached to your thinking. You really think that you are your thoughts. And because you really think, because you really believe, because you really identify with your thoughts, this is what keeps you manifesting them. This is what keeps you in the loop of a poverty mindset and therefore a impoverished life. So you need to discipline yourself to do a couple of things. One, when you find yourself having thoughts about poverty, and let me tell you how subtle these thoughts can be. These thoughts can come in as you calculating all your bills. Ooh, am I gonna have enough money for that? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to pay that late. I'm gonna have to do that after. Poverty mindset. Even in that moment, I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to do it again. And I need you to do it again. And I need you to understand and apply this simple principle that abundance is like air. You might can't see it, but it is always there. How do we know this? Go outside and look at the abundance of trees, leaves, nature, birds, people. Look at how this air moves in and out of people, moves in and out of these trees, moves nature, creates hurricanes and all of this other stuff, and you cannot see it. Abundance is just like that. But it is the belief that it does not exist, it is the belief that it is not present that keeps you stuck. You think that because you cannot see it, it does not exist. That is a lie. Girl, why done people been lying like that? Why they been lying like that? Do y'all know that some of the richest people in the world, they ain't even buying shit with real hard-earned cash money. They buying stuff off credit. And credit is something that you cannot see. Yeah, you see that credit score, but that 50,000, 100,000, whatever, it's just numbers on a damn computer. That is all it is. That's all it is. It's just numbers on a computer. And oh, Spirit said, "Come on, D-Ray." And uh, y'all are so invested, and I get it because I was there. And let me tell y'all what I did. Let me tell you what I understood. When I had just graduated college, I had a degree. I had these skills. I'm like, why can't I find a job that's going to pay me good? I was working at a store called Lowe's. How many of y'all got Lowe's where y'all live at? We got Lowe's out here in Texas because everybody in Texas think they think they a damn handyman out here. You know, Texas, we think we handy and we all construction and all of that, right? So I was working at Lowe's. I was working at Lowe's, not making no money. And I had a full blown college degree. You got a degree? Why are you working at Lowe's? Poverty mindset. Poverty mindset. And here's how I know about that poverty mindset. I vividly remember being a person who would be before the money hits my account, I'm already doing all the math. I'm already doing all the math. And you can't really do the math correctly because you don't be understanding how them taxes be hidden. But I'm already doing all the math. I'm like, okay, I work this many hours. It's this, no, let me multiply that. Let me take about this much off because that's going to be probably what the taxes is. So that's going to I got to pay this, I got to pay this. That's going to lead to that, da, 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 da. All of that, these storylines I kept telling myself. And here's what I would do. Right when I would start thinking about money, 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 now I'm eating. I got to go buy some fries. I used to be the type of person when I start thinking about money, I need something salty. I got to eat something salty real quick because I need something that's going to help me right now because I'm thinking about this money, right? How did I know I was dealing with money? Lower back pain. I'm young. I'm 21. I'm 19, 20, 21. Why is my lower back hurting? Money. Why? Because my mama always said money don't grow on trees. Don't grow on trees. So when it comes down to overcoming the poverty mindset, one, you need to recognize your habits, your mental and emotional habits, and you need to break free of those. When are you triggered when it comes down to money? You need to ask yourself that question. What is my money trigger? I know when I'm going and I'm getting fries from Raising Cane's, Wingstop, and I'm just getting fries. I don't want nothing else. Let me just get the fries. And I know when I'm doing that, my mind is running on money. And it may not even be fully conscious, it be subconscious. What is your money trigger? Okay. What triggers you? What in your lifestyle can you make adjustments on? What in your lifestyle can you make adjustments on? Okay. How can you shift your vibration to become a person who attracts more money? Here's the thing. High value people have high energy. If you are having poverty problems, it is because your energy is low. Okay? An abundance of money is not going to stream downward to somebody who is vibrationally low. Right? Because the saying is like attracts like. So if it's not in the job, sis, it's not in the job, brother. Working more does not mean more money. Working more does not mean more money. Higher vibration means more money. Higher thinking means more money. So when you find yourself in a negative loop of thinking, I need you to discipline yourself to take a deep breath and surrender. I need you to become a person who studies finance. Why aren't you watching Earn Your Leisure on YouTube? Earn Your Leisure. They probably post a video every day about some way to get money. But instead, here's what you're doing. You just sitting down thinking about it all the time. Man, I ain't got this. Man, I ain't never had this. You just keep on and you be believing those thoughts. You be identifying with those thoughts. You really think those thoughts are you. Okay? So I need you to start educating yourself while at the same time doing the mental and emotional work. So again, when you feel yourself thinking all of these thoughts that are not in alignment, I need you to breathe it out. I need you to stop those thoughts in its track instead of chasing those thoughts. Because that's what we do. We have a thought, we start chasing it. We like, ooh, okay, wait. Okay, what is that? Okay, ooh, I need more of that. We keep on chasing the thought, and really, let's be honest, some of y'all are addicted to your poverty. You're addicted to your trauma. You're addicted to your negativity. You are attached to all of those things. Those things are you in your mind. So you have to detach from the thoughts and detach from the emotions. This is what I had to do. I had to detach from the thoughts. I had to detach from the emotions. I had to realize that those thoughts are not me. And then once I realized that those thoughts are not me, now I can start taking action that is opposite of the ways that I've been thinking. I can start taking action towards abundance. Okay? So you need to learn. You need to study. You need to get around people who have abundance. You might can't get with them in person, but you can find some on YouTube and listen to their videos. Get those books and actually read them. Implement some of those practices. Okay? Detach from those thoughts. You do that by taking deep breaths, stopping yourself and redirecting your mind. This takes self-discipline. Redirect your mind. Redirect your emotions. And even when these things happen, don't reinforce them by doing something that by like I did. I would eat fries. I start thinking about money, I'm going to go get some fries. You got to stop reinforcing the thoughts with your physical actions. So getting the fries was reinforcing the poverty mindset. Okay? And then that's funny, JD, because it's the things that you struggle with most that become your biggest mission. The things you struggle with most are what becomes your mission, your purpose. But you got to overcome it. You got to overcome it. You got to make it happen. Okay? All right. Last question. Can one ever fully become healed? The answer to that question is yes and no. Because for as long as you are in the human body, you're going to be doing some self-work. Whether it be transforming your ideas on abundance, whether it be transforming your ideas on relationships, transforming your relationship with your body, transforming your, no matter what it is. I mean, Brother Panic still makes videos and he'll talk about when he was triggered. Okay? So know while you are in the physical body, right? Even the Buddha, even Jesus, and all of these people who had these stories, they were all tested. And they had to do the work to overcome those tests. Okay? So you too shall do the same thing. You're always going to have these tests. You're always going to have these trials. You're always going to have that angel and that demon on your shoulder. You're always going to have that internal battle. Okay? That's always going to be there for as long as you are in the human body. Now, why do I say yes? I say yes because when you leave the human body, you have the choice of, do you want to reconnect with the all, or do you want to do it again in a different life form, on a different planet, in a different space, in a different place? And even when you incarnate there, there's going to be some self-study. Do we understand? So for as long as you are in the physical, you're doing self-work. You're doing self-healing. And I like to say that healing is simply transforming your thoughts, emotions, and actions to align with your higher self. That's what healing is for me. And I'm a healer. I do healing work with women all day, every day. Healing is transforming thoughts, feelings, and actions, or mind, body, and spirit, mind, emotion, and spirit, whatever you want to say. It's about transforming those things that make you you in order to align with your higher self. So for as long as you are living and breathing and in the flesh, you're going to be doing that work. And then based off of what work you do, the level of work you do, based off of that, that's what's going to guide you and let you know what will happen when you make the transition. When you get in the spirit realm, that's when you'll know. You'll say, okay, I did that, I did that, I did that. What's next? Okay? Buffalo Creations, I had said my last question was going to be the healing question, so I have to keep it there. But you know what? I think there's so much information in this video that you'll be able to get that answer. Not only that, Buffalo Creations, I got hella videos on triggers and healing. So please go look through the archives of my videos. Y'all, the Master Student Conference is happening. If y'all want to see me drop these gems in person, I say you need to be there. Live or virtual. Live or virtual, you need to make sure that you are joining us for the Master Student Conference. And you probably want to get those tickets now, because when you get it now, you get it at a discounted price. Just telling you the truth. Y'all already know how it is. All right. So I look forward to seeing y'all at the Master Student Conference right here in Houston, Texas. I look forward to seeing y'all in person. I am so freaking excited. I'm so excited to bring y'all some healing, some love, some transformation. That's what I'm bringing with all of this. With all of that. With all of that, baby, I'm bringing in this healing work. All right. So I look forward to seeing y'all at the Master Student Conference that's taking place right here in Houston, November 26th. If you cannot make it out here in person, oh, I cannot believe my phone just died on Instagram. So now that whole video is just gone for Instagram. It's just gone. Hey, but that's why I love y'all over here on YouTube. All right. So catch y'all later. See y'all at the Master Student Conference. If you are needing my support in anything, hit the link in my bio. All of my sisters, y'all need to make sure that y'all sign up to be a part of the Sacred Sister Circle community. We get started with this work in January 2022. And if I didn't get to your question, or if I answered your question, but you need more help, more support in being able to apply it, that is when you need to schedule a complimentary call. Okay? If I answered your question, but you like, but I need more to apply it, get you a complimentary call. All the links is in the bio. All right? Love y'all. Y'all have a great, happy Thursday. Peace.